Now, if I've got this right with my basic editing, what you should be seeing behind me is a video that a woman put together when she went over to China to talk to them about the way that they basically spy on their population, surveil people, and the levels that it goes to and the technology that they've got. So, take for instance, people think that they do face recognition. They do. But there's more than that than face recognition. They can now, if you cover your face, they can work out who you are through your body. Apparently, your body walks in a certain way, and they would have surveilled you before when your face was out, so that even if you cover up, they can check the way you walk, and they'll know who you are. This is important if you're thinking about committing crime over there, because they will catch you. But it's not just that. Your voice has, I think, over 100 different characteristics that they could tell all sorts of things about you: gender, height, size, weight, body mass, bone mass. It's more of a fingerprint than your fingerprint. There's so many different levels that your voice gives you away at. So say, for instance, you're a football lad over here and you've decided that you want to go to the match that maybe you're banned from. So you have a burner phone and you cover your face. Well, if you did that over there, the barometrics, and by the way, the barometrics for your voice works over here too. So that's something you want to bear in mind. But they would hear your voice, that would flash up through the computer and immediately the camera, because your phone will give away your location. The camera will then look for you, and if it can't see your face, it will check for body language. And then it will just follow you around, and then you'll be arrested. Now, they've got a credit scoring system over there, which is, if, say, for instance, you jaywalk, even if you have your face covered, it can see your body, work out who you are, and the fine goes immediately to you. But it also reduces your credit scoring. So too many of those, you can't then use the vending machine for, say, for instance, I don't know, buy a can of Coke, etc. When you go to the toilet, you have to show your face, and then it gives you a due amount of bog roll. So if you're one of these people that needs a fair amount of toilet roll, tough. You'll have to take yours with you, but you probably get social credit scoring for that. Now, if there's too much of it, you can't get a flight out of the country. But that is not just now to, say, for instance, China. Germany are trying to trial this in airports. I believe Saudi are as well. And I should imagine it will be coming here by the time this video is made. However, it isn't just that. The video, you can't get into your flat in many of these places. You have to show your face. And what they do is they work out how many people have come and gone out of that complex, how many guests they've had in with them, and there's this scoring, and that's shown. Incidentally, if you break the law, or break a small thing like what they call jaywalking, not only do they send you the fine, but there's big screens where they put your picture up to shame you. Now, it shows other stuff, like these people are driving down the road and somebody's trying to hitchhike, and right above them is a social credit score, and it's low, so they won't pick them up. And they're programming the people to fear people with a low credit score or social score. Now, a low social score will be the sort of people that don't follow the system to its letter. Now, people are saying, if you don't break the law, you have nothing to worry about. And they're so used to being surveilled over there that they just accept it. Now, in the big cities, it's to the stage of it is in London, but they want to move it out into all the little streets as well. Now, with the 15-minute cities, which they have in place now, if your score goes down, you can't leave. You're now effectively a prisoner. So you must behave yourself, otherwise you can't go and see your nan in the next sector. But obviously too many trips unless you go on public transport, and you'll lose your scoring there. Now, kids from the age of 16 onwards are by law required to carry around their card. Their identity card will obviously then give them the scoring. Now, when you look at the camera system of people just walking around, there's boxes above it. Now, people walking, it will give you their height, their approximate build, what they're wearing. And if the facial credit score or social scores come up, if they're a person of interest, it will show up in red. Vehicles, it can track, and it knows what type of vehicles. There's about 2,000 separate vehicles, maybe more than that, I think. So they've got all of this going on, and they're going to put it into place. And their theory is that it will make the average person a better person, a more cautious person, a more caring person, a more law-abiding person. Now, it's said that it's connected the dots for about about 2,000 criminals they've managed to put away by facial recognition. But who were these criminals and what were they guilty of? Now, this system is going to make its way to Europe, no doubt of that. Now, what I find interesting is over the course of time, we've had the ability to be able to surveil people by phone, by all sorts of other electric devices. Now, if I went to a public phone box, and if there was one still available that you could actually make a call on that hasn't actually been turned into a place where you put books or whatever, and made the call, they would be able to tell who I was just by my voice. So there is no anonymity anymore. And anybody who thinks there is, there isn't, right? And you've got all of these people that believe that they'd be able to keep themselves and their details away from prying eyes. No, you can't. The government knows exactly who, where, and what. And what it does, it's got computer systems that are listening to all calls, not just some calls, all calls in real time. And there's trigger words that if you say this word, the computer will pay more interest in what you're doing. And if you say too many trigger words, it will then pay a lot more interest on a more regular basis to what you're doing. Now, is anybody seeing this as particularly wrong? The interesting thing is that the system over in China is called Skynet. Now, some of you may be familiar with the film Terminator, and Skynet was perceived to be bad, but apparently the creators have said that they're going to use Skynet as a force of good. And if you believe that, I'll sell you one about the flying pig. However, where we're going and what we're doing, take, for instance, the weekend just gone, where people came out in the streets, covered up, and did whatever, like set fire to buses and stuff like that. In China, no problem at all. Every one of those would be caught because they've already got a record on every person in that country. Well, you can't go into some places without them wanting you got to do this, that, and that. It's got a full fingerprint of your face. It's got a 3D model of it. So now when you go anywhere, it can then scan all the different parts of your face, the defining features, and no problem. So you're thinking, I'll wear heavy makeup. Wouldn't make a difference. The system is very, very sophisticated. Now, I don't know if any of you see this as a problem, but just think about this. If you're one of these people that stands up for the right, if you're one of these people that believes in doing the honest thing and the right thing, your credit scoring will go down so low that basically people won't be able to come anywhere near you, because if they have any association with you, then they get targeted as well, and their credit scoring comes down. And what it'll be is the populace, so terrified of losing their rights, will chuck out these people towards the services, the government, whatever, excuse me. That comes up every now and again. And you got woo flu or something. And the system itself won't need to come for you. The public will do the work for them. Now, I'm just wondering whether any of you see this as a problem, because personally, I do. I didn't ask the government and give them permission to spy on me, but they did so anyway, all right? In fact, when you look at it, there's many things that our government do, okay, that we never gave them permission for, but they spy on us. Now, why do they spy on us? Well, here's the thing. If they weren't doing anything wrong, then they wouldn't have to fear us. That's the truth. If our government were doing the right thing, right, and they were doing good work and they weren't trying to literally ruin our future, then they wouldn't have to watch what we were doing to make sure that we never, ever come for them. That's the facts of it all. And have you ever noticed this? They can pick you up for jaywalking in China, etc., as they probably would over here. But when a terrorist bomb goes off, all of a sudden the cameras don't work in that area. Has anybody ever noticed this? And they can't stop these terrorists, but they can come for you if you've done something bad on the internet, like, I don't know, upset somebody or offended somebody. So the system of CCTV, which was originally sold to us that it will protect your property or protect your business from criminality, has moved far away from that. What it actually is nothing more than 1984 on steroids. Now, going forward, if you're like me and you say what I say, you won't be able to rent a property. You won't be able to work because nobody will offer you a job. Your bank will reject you. You won't be able to buy food because that privilege will be taken away. You won't be able to move out of your 15-minute city, but you'll not be able to live in the 15-minute city because you're not allowed to be homeless either. Nobody will be able to help you because if they come within spitting distance of you, they'll be persecuted. And literally, you will be like in a prison. Why? Because you go against the system. Now, China's under communism, but I have to say that what we have, or the rules that we've got coming, will be equal to communism in some ways, in the very fact that we would live under a totalitarian dictatorship, that we were not allowed to fall foul of any rules, otherwise we would be persecuted to the max. Now, none of us voted for this, and none of us want this, but yet we're told we have to accept this because this is the way. Are we free citizens, or are we nothing more than a herd that's owned? Now, I'll leave you to think about that. Anyway, live stream tonight, we've got Ronan, or Rowan, I should say. What do I say? Ronan, sorry, Rowan. Rowan Croft, Gran Torino. Now, this man's been doing a lot of good work over in Ireland for years, and he has been persecuted. He has had the far left come after him, attack him. They've made him lose his job. He's been through the hoop. He's lost YouTube channels. He's done all sorts, all for doing the right thing. And the media has smeared him as far right because he's a patriot. So we're going to talk to him tonight about what things are like for him, what it's like over there, what he's doing at the moment, and we're going to go from there. And later on this afternoon, with a bit of luck, I should have a live stream with That Anna. She's got a YouTube channel, and she's particularly interested in the degeneracy that's being taught to our kids through nefarious means through the schools. And she's going to point out their latest load of degeneracy and what they want to do. And it's going to be interesting, but she's a bit of a crusader like that because at the end of the day, she has a young'un and she's thinking about that kid's future, not just her kids, your kids. So we'll be doing a live stream with her as well. So it's going to be a busy old day. Anyway, I hope you are liking the content at the moment. I'm back to work Tuesday to get a rest. And yeah, so now I work 3 days a week to pay for my existence, and the rest of it I can put into this. So I hope you're happy with what you're getting, and I'll see you in a bit.